Let's go ahead and take a look at practice number 2. Feel free to fix and correct anything as we go over it. Example number 4. The mixed number 1 3/4. For the rectangular model, I'm going to draw a hole. And then I need a little more than a hole, so I'm going to go ahead and draw a second hole. My denominator is fourths, so each hole needs to be cut into 4 equal pieces. To make fourths, I like to use half and then do 2 times on each side. I have 1 hole, so I'm going to color in 4/4. And then I have 3/4 more. So 3 out of the 4 of my second hole. Now that I have my rectangular model, I'm going to draw my number line to also represent the mixed number 1 3/4. First, I'm going to mark my holes. I'm going to have 0, 1, 2. Again, my denominator is fourths, so each hole needs to be cut into 4 equal pieces. I'm going to mark half and do 2 times on each side. I'm going to mark half of my hole and do 2 times on each side. I'm going to go ahead and show my counting to get to 1 3/4. I'm going to go 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 1 hole. 1 1/4, 1 2/4, 1 3/4. I'm going to go ahead and mark 1 3/4 and label it 1 3/4. Starting at 0 is not always going to be the easiest way for you. So if you want 1 3/4, you can find the 1 and then add on 3/4. And that will also get you to 1 3/4. Let's go ahead and look at example number 2. The mixed number is 2 5/5. Again, I'm going to draw 2 holes. But then I need a little more than 2 holes, so I'm going to go ahead and draw a third hole. My denominator tells me that I need to cut my holes into fifths. So there's no real easy way for me to cut my holes into fifths, so I'm going to just try my best to partition this equally. 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5. Since I have 2 holes, I'm going to color in 5/5 of my first hole and 5/5 of my second hole. And then my fraction part is 4/5, so I'm going to color in 4 out of my 5 equal pieces. Now I can use that as a guide for my number line. First, mark the holes, 0, 1, 2, 3. Again, my denominator tells me that I need to cut my hole into fifths. I'm going to try my best to make them as equal as possible. 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5. I need to mark 2 5/5. So find my hole of 2. I'm looking for 2 4/5. So find your hole of 2 and then count on 4/5. 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5. Go ahead and make sure you've marked 2 4/5. Let's go ahead and look at the very last example, example number 6. The mixed number is 3 2/3. So I'm going to draw my rectangular model. I have 3 holes. I'm going to have to do it a little smaller so I can actually fit it on here. And then I need a little more than 3 holes, so I'm going to have to go ahead and draw that 4th hole. Now, my denominator is telling me that I need to cut my holes into thirds. So I need 3 equal pieces for each hole. I need 3 holes, so I'm going to color in 3/3 of the first hole, 3/3 of the second hole, 3/3 of the third hole, and then I need 2 more thirds, so 2 out of those 3 pieces from that last hole. Now that I have that rectangular model, I'm going to use it as a guide for my number line. I'm going to mark my holes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, again, I'm looking at my new denominator, and it's thirds, so all my holes need to be split into 3 equal pieces. Last, I'm ready to go ahead and mark 3 2/3. Find the hole 3, count on 2/3, 1/3, 2/3. Make sure you have an X where you have 2/3, 3 2/3, and mark it 3 2/3.